Hello viewers, I am Kausalya. Today we are going to start our next chapter, time response analysis. So from the topic, what is meant by time response? Response is nothing but output of a system. So whenever the output of the system is in terms of time, then that is known as time response. So as we all know, analysis is we are going to discuss in detail about time response, right? So here, when the output of a closed loop system is expressed as a function of time, it is known as time response. That is, the output of the system is represented in terms of time. That's it. So how can we get that? It is obtained by solving the differential equations governing the system. Okay, differential equation we had seen in detail in our first chapter. So here this is a typical diagram of a closed loop system, and here the type of feedback is negative. So the closed loop transfer function is given as C of S by R of S, and that is nothing but this is equal to G of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S, right? Here, as we all know, R of S is the input and C of S is the output. So from this, I am moving this R of S to the right hand side. So here we will be having C of S is equal to R of S into G of S by 1 plus G of S into H of S. So as we just see, the output should be in terms of time. So in order to bring the time t, here I am taking inverse Laplace transform. So when you take inverse Laplace transform on both sides, inverse Laplace of C of S is represented as C of t. Right, here again inverse Laplace of these terms. So while solving problems, we will be having some expressions for which we can take inverse Laplace, and we take inverse Laplace, the output will be in terms of time. Right. So here, as this is a standard expression, we are leaving here it as such. And the next one is there are two types of time response. So one is known as transient response and another one is known as steady state response. So transient response is that is when input changes from one state to another. In other words, the output of the response will be varying continuously, because as we know, when input changes, automatically the output will also get changed. So the output of this transient response is it will be varying continuously. For example, we can even take this as transient response because it is the response which varies with respect to time. In other words, as the input changes, the output of the response will also get changed, right? And the next one is steady state response. Here steady state is nothing but, you see, when time t tends to infinity, that is, the output of the system will remain the same irrespective of time. You see here when t is equal to 0, the output remains the same. When t is equal to some 10 seconds or whatever may be, the output still remains the same. So steady state response is one which is independent of the time. It will remain the same. Whereas transient response is one which will be varying continuously. Hope you people have a clear idea about what is time response. This is just an introduction video. Thank you.